Hey, OKB Healthy Pals, Jacqueline here. How are you today? I'm just getting adjusted. Got a mic on. We're going to try to record all these for you so we don't lose all this great information. Okay, so all I need is one person to be here and we're going to get started. Welcome and good morning. Let me know where you're watching from. We have someone watching. Who are you? It's Tanya. Hi, Tanya. How are your boys? I hope you're well. I'm glad you're here today. Thank you for spending your Saturday morning with me. So we got great questions. I feel like every week the questions get better and better. And you know what's great about us coming together and asking these questions is that someone somewhere in the world is having the same issues or they need the same answer to that question. So you're not alone. It is a health journey. Our bodies are all very similar, traveling around the world. I've discovered that we may speak different languages, we may come from different cultures, but our bodies work the very same way. And when we give them and provide them the best the best ingredients, then our bodies start to thrive because we are divinely designed. So good morning, everyone. We have Clara from Utah, Ernie, Cheryl, Ellie, Tanya again. Good morning. Yes, my family as well. We're enjoying our last full weekend together before I hit the road with Barbara the beginning of August, next weekend. Good morning, Fallon. All right, good morning. So I'm going to get started because there's so many great questions, like I said. Thank you so much. Thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for asking me your questions. Thank you for teaching me. You guys are wonderful teachers as well. You inspire me to learn and motivate myself to even learn more and provide more content and information for you, okay? So good morning, Sadie. Good morning, Rhonda. Good morning, Mackenzie. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so something huge hit me this morning. So start your mornings with God, okay? Your life will change when you start your mornings with the living God, right? Open your Bible to see what he wants to show you that day, okay? This morning, I had something I wanted to talk to you about, but then God just showed me, nope, I want you to talk about this morning. And he wanted me to talk to you about forgive yourself, okay? Forgiveness is so important. You need to forgive others, but you also need to forgive yourself. I was reading last week, and that's what's great about God, how he works things together. I was reading something from a book, and then he put on my heart this morning that topic, and then I'm reading in scripture, and it just all fits together. But I was reading in this book, and I kind of changed the words and put it in my own perspective of how I felt this writer was trying to write. But she went on to say, before starting on your healing journey, it is absolutely essential to remove any and all prejudice from our minds and hearts. Start with a clean sheet. Then the only thing you will have to eradicate is the obstruction in your physical body. Isn't that good? I just thought, oh, so good. But, forgive yourself. And I was reading in Isaiah, and you probably know what scripture I'm going to talk about. If you have your Bibles, you can go to Isaiah chapter 1, verse 18. Come now and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. And if you've seen very natural white wool, it's just so fluffy and white. And after it's been cleaned, those sheep are dirty when they're out in the pasture for so long. And the shepherds and the shepherdess have to clean the sheep. They have to clean the wool. And once they clean it, and it goes through all the purification process to be made into clothing, it's white and beautiful. So you are beautiful. And no matter what, I want you to forgive yourselves today. Just make the decision today. Forgive yourself, whatever it is, big or small. Forgive yourself, forgive others. That way you can go forward and you can pursue your healing mentally, physically, okay? So think about that this week. Now, who's been memorizing their scripture? We should be memorized by now. I've got it down. So we got Jeremiah 17:14. That's what we've been working on this month. And it says, heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. So keep working on that this month, and then we'll add another one next month, and you can build it. So always rehearse the other one in your mind, and then when you start adding a new one, go back and forth. I do it a lot when I'm trying to sleep at night. If I can't sleep, I'll just practice my retemeries. I call them retemeries. Scripture you put to memory. Okay. I'm very excited this morning, so I need to calm down. There's so much we got to talk about. Whew. Okay. So that's that. Get your Bible out, read. It's amazing. It will change your life. It changes lives. Don't know where to start? Start in Psalms. Start in, Matthew and Mark and Luke and John. Okay. All right. So forgive yourself, and keep working on Jeremiah 17:14. Forgive others. Okay. So I'm going to start with a wonderful motivation. This is from Denise. She says, "Yay, let's do this." Talking about our sit down Saturday. So glad to have you back. Another sit down Saturday. Yes, so exciting. Thank you, Denise. Now, everyone, just know that I always answer the subscribers' questions first. So if you'd like to subscribe to our hub, you can do that. We have a link for that. We'll make sure to get that to you. And you can subscribe. And you get to basically have behind the scenes to my life, what I'm doing with Barbara, recipes. What did I post? Oh, new product. I always post new product first on that page. Let them know what's coming soon. Just kind of like you get to know. You're like in the know first before the main page. And also you get your questions answered first. And I try to do a weekly, hey, do you have any questions for me? And so you have me a little bit more intimately and quicker. If you have questions for your health that you need answered, I can answer them much quicker on that page. So that's a little bit about our subscriber hub. So we're going to start with our subscribers questions today. Then we're going to go on to our top fans. And then everyone else. But you're all important and all your questions are important. So that'll just be how we rack and stack the order. So this is from Storm Parker. She's a subscriber. She says, "Thank you for what you do. Can we talk about plating? I'm working on changing eating habits. When I've done so in the past, it wasn't working out because I believe I wasn't getting enough of what is needed. How much fat do we need per meal? Per day? What might that look like? Example, avocado, handful of nuts at each meal. How much protein? How much fiber? Thanks." Okay, so last live, I gave a whole blurb about all the protein in certain kinds of foods. So I'll try to find time to make a clip just from that. So you can re-look into that, but you can also go and re-watch that last week's live. You can just forward through if you don't want to watch the whole thing. And I did just give a quick synopsis of all the plant-based foods that have a lot of protein, lean meats that have a lot of protein, so on and so forth. I do not get involved with the whole, I have my ratio chart and I write everything down and I count my calories and, oh, I didn't eat enough of this today and my watch told me I didn't eat enough of that today. I don't do that. I think that's micromanaging, just your everyday life, and I don't think it's necessary. But what I do is I eat till I'm content. I eat in moderation. So for example, and it depends on your activity levels, right? It depends if you're nursing a baby. It depends on if you're a man. It depends on you working outside all day. It depends if you've ran a marathon, right? How you will need to fuel your body for that day. So I always take it one day at a time. I see how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling sick, guess what? I fast. I don't eat much at all. I let my body just fight whatever is going on. And so really just evaluate where you are in your life, what's going on that day, your week, and so on and so forth. But now, I would say the average I do is I do a very, my workouts aren't super extreme. So I would say some mornings I like to have 3 or 4 eggs. If I've really exerted myself, I'll have like poached eggs or scrambled eggs, or sometimes I'll fry eggs with the coconut oil. I'll fry some eggs in coconut oil, boiled eggs that are really not so cooked in the center. So I love eggs. Eggs are a great protein. Tofu is a great protein. If you like it, you can make them like scrambled eggs, or you add turmeric and ginger and garlic and seasonings. So you can do that. There's Simple Needs breads that has protein. So it just depends on what you want to eat and what you like to eat. But basically, my portion is always protein, fat, fiber, protein, right? So lots of fat, lots of fiber, lots of protein. And whatever that looks like to you is the best way to plate your food. And a good way to know if you did not get enough is if you're hungry in about an hour or two. That's when you know I need to eat more at my next meal. So for example, 3 to 4 eggs for me, maybe a half to 1 whole avocado, a handful of nuts, always a handful. Whatever closes in your hand is a handful, okay? This is not a handful of nuts. This is not a handful of nuts. It's just what can sit in your palm. That is a good portion for you to go to. Make sure you eat your alkaline nuts in the morning and the more acidic nuts in the evening. Very alkaline nuts are going to be your almonds, your Brazils, and then you could look for cashews later. I love macadamia nuts. I can eat nuts again. I had an allergy, but I really just went after my healing, and I can eat a portion of nuts again. So nuts, add chia seeds, flax seeds to your fruit. I always like to have a big side of fruit. Sometimes I love to eat greens for breakfast. Barbara doesn't like greens for breakfast. It kind of bothers her tummy. She saves her greens for the evening, in the afternoon. I love smoothies for breakfast. So whatever that looks like to you, what you're doing that day, how you need to fuel your body. But personally, I wouldn't get too concerned with eating enough. I'm not getting enough of this, writing things down. You can if you want to, but to me, I have other things I need to do, like read books and study your questions and make new products at the store. And but okay. So I hope that answers your question for that. Just make sure you're eating plenty of fat, fiber, and protein at every meal. And if you feel hungry a few hours later, then you did not eat enough. So make sure you eat enough next time. So eat a larger lunch of fat, fiber, protein. That could look like a huge sweet potato piled with hummus and a huge side of broccoli and a giant salad, and maybe you want asparagus too, and maybe you want some more nuts, and maybe you want, so that's what it looks like. Some olives, just eat till you're content. Don't eat to gluttony. Don't eat over moderation, but just eat till you are satisfied. Remember, don't drink with your meals. Okay. Um, let's see. So that was Storm. Our next subscriber is Keisha. She said, I'm not seeing the links posted to Barbara O'Neill's lectures on hormones, your favorite lectures and things, etc. So what I did is I actually pinned a new pin to the top of my page on my breast implant illness story. And so that is now there. It has replaced my favorite lectures by Barbara, but you can find them at officialbarbaro'Neill.com. You can go there and you can click onto her YouTube link, and it'll take you to all her wonderful lectures that you can watch legitimately from her website. You don't have to worry about being scammed or endorsing fake products or manipulated with your emotions. It's straight up the real deal. Donna says she's a top fan. Donna Brashford Thomas says, any ideas, Brashfield, sorry, any ideas for help with plantar fasciitis? Yes, actually. The best things to do for plantar fasciitis is listen to your body. Make sure you don't overexert yourself. So don't start running. Don't train for a marathon if you have pulled that ligament in your foot. The first thing you want to do is make sure you're resting the area. You also want to use comfrey salve. Have you heard of comfrey salve? Comfrey is a wonderful herb that grows wild everywhere. You may have it in your backyard. Go out and discover your backyard. See what you got. But comfrey is has a health stimulant in it, a growth stimulant in it. That has properties in it that help heal, nourish tendons, muscles, joints, bones, you name it, all kinds of ligaments and things. The problem with a ligament, right, in a muscle is that you cannot isolate it like a bone. A bone, you can isolate it, but that you cannot. So you want to be gentle on the area. Use comfrey salve and also do hydrotherapy. So to do hydrotherapy on your foot, as long as you don't have neuropathy, because you want to be able to feel the bottom of your foot, you put the foot into hot water for 3 minutes, as hot as you can stand it. Don't burn yourself, okay, guys? And then 30 seconds cold water. And you want to add ice to this cold water. You want it to be cold. So 3 minutes hot water, 30 seconds cold for a cycle of 3. So it's a little less than 5 minutes. I think it's like 12 minutes or so. But you do this for a cycle of 3. And you can do that 5 times a day if you like. And the best way to do hydrotherapy is doing it consistently every day, because each time you do it, your body has muscle memory, and the nerves and the cells are loving the healing momentum that you got going, because you're rushing new cells to the area, you're rushing new blood to the area. And the blood is the carrier of white blood cells. I mean, wonderful things, oxygen, nutrients, minerals, everything's being pushed to that area to heal it rapidly. So ideally what you want to do is the hydrotherapy, then apply comfrey. And do that, the comfrey, maybe 2 to 3 times a day. If you feel good, maybe 1 time a day. And you can do the hydrotherapy up to 5 times a day. You can also do a castor oil wrap on your foot, the plantar fasciitis area, the foot. And you can also, what else? Something came to me. Yeah, that's basically what I would do, is just alternate between the two: castor oil, comfrey, hydrotherapy, relax, restore, eat well, take care of yourself, drink lots of water. Okay, this is from Top Fan Talamantes Eli. How do I do a parasite cleanse for my 6-year-old 6-year-old and 12-year-old using OKB Healthy Parasite Tincture. Will it cause upset stomach, diarrhea? Will one bottle be enough for both my daughters? How long do I treat them and how often? What differences will I be able to notice in them? Do parasites affect behavior? So I'm so thankful you guys like to ask me these questions thinking I know the answers to everything, but I actually don't know how herbs will react with your body. That's something only you're gonna know. As you take herbs, your body will tell you, this is going great, this needs to be slowed down a little bit, no, I don't like this at all. So that's something I cannot tell you, but I do know the majority of people that do a parasite cleanse find it very easy going, okay? No pun intended. But yes, a 6 and 12-year-old, the way they would do it is a half a dropper. So they would take a half a dropper, which is actually the full dropper when you push the tincture. It just only gives you a half anyway. So they would take a half a dropper twice a day, and you take a binder an hour away from the parasite tincture. So we have a binder. A good binder is charcoal. We have a binder powder, or we have capsules of charcoal, and it's completely safe. You can even break it open and mix it in a little bit of juice for them, the charcoal powder, and they can drink that an hour away from their parasite cleanse. So parasite cleanse, hour later, binder. And you can do it opposite at night if you'd like, to do your binder and an hour later do your parasite cleanse, or you can do the parasite cleanse and whatever else cleanse you choose, because we have other tinctures. We have liver detox, we have kidney detox, we have colon detox, we have heavy metal detox. So there's other ones you can choose to pair with your parasite cleanser, parasite tincture. And then you can do that. And so then before bed, you take a binder or you do your parasite cleanse again, but always an hour between. Always watch medications with charcoal. Always take that away from your binder as well. So yes, it depends. I know my son, we did a parasite cleanse for him, and it just wasn't working as well as we wanted to do it. So we actually doubled it, and we increased the amount, and he got a little bit of diarrhea, and the next day he passed a threadworm. And so we were like, okay, but he felt great the following day. He was no longer tired and bloated. He was really bloated and tired. And I just thought, I think you got parasites. I think we got to do something. So, I personally, I have my kids do a parasite cleanse every day because we have cats, and we have cats in the house. Don't tell Barbara. No, she knows. And so you want to make sure, for me, I wanted my kids doing a parasite cleanse every day, especially the ones that are changing the kitty litter boxes. So be mindful. This is why they talk about, women who are pregnant shouldn't be changing kitty litter boxes because of parasites like Toxoplasma gondii, which I can talk about that now because you said, how long do I treat them? How often? What differences will be able to notice in them? Do parasites affect behavior? Yes, they do. You can watch so many documentaries on National Geographics and such where they show how parasites will take over its host, especially the brain. And so I've read a lot of books on the subject. I do know that if anybody is ever labeled with schizophrenia, then number 1, parasite cleanse. Number 2, make sure they're drinking plenty of water, because a lot of links to parasites and dehydration when it comes to schizophrenia. There's a lot of other things, obviously, relationship with God, trauma, things like that need to be addressed. Diet, right? Because food dyes are toxic for the body. Chemicals are toxic for the body, and it's all found in our food. Bioengineered food is toxic to our body because if it's not found in nature, it should not be found in our body. Our body is the most natural thing you can come by. And so why are we putting anything not found in nature in them, right? Okay, so for them, I would just start, my mom's a microbiologist. So she always suggested when we were kids to do it for a parasite cleanse for a complete month. So you're getting the cysts, which are the egg form. Then you're getting the larva, and you're getting the adults because they have different incubation periods, lifespans, etc. But that's a little on that. There is, like, for example, a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii, which it is in a host of a cat. But when the cat passes it, it needs a host to get back into the cat. So what happens is the rat picks it up, and then the rat starts to become affected by this parasite in the brain, right? And so it becomes fearless of the cat and attracted to urine of the cat's urine. And so it gets close to the cat, and the cat eats the rat, and it's just like this cycle. So yes, there is a level of intelligence of these parasites. Like, to get back to that cat, it knows what it needs to do. It's crazy. And there's other ones. you can just go down a rabbit hole learning so much about these parasites, but there's nothing to be afraid of. Our body, God made our bodies to heal themselves, and He made us to have hydrochloric acid. If you're moving your colon every day, and you're drinking plenty of water, you're eating well, you're eating lots of dark leafy greens, you don't have to be afraid of anything, guys. Okay, we have the Lord on our side. He's given bodies that are superpowers inside these wonderful bodies. As long as we give them the right conditions, we can be our body's best friend or our worst enemy. It's up to us. Mary says, hi, could you address H. pylori infection? Natural treatments, what it does to the gut after infection. Is Manuka honey a good source of treatment? Thank you. Yes, H. pylori. Okay, so in the book, You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty, Dr. Batman Gahaldish, I love this book. Dr. Batman Gahaldish goes over all the reasons why we should be drinking water. But he also talks about the stomach lining, what the stomach lining is made of. And guess what? It's made of mucus, it's made of water, it's made of all these wonderful properties to keep the stomach acid in the stomach and not encroaching out of our stomach. So what we want to do, most people with H. pylori infection is because their stomach lining, which should look like this nice thick border cushion, is now looking like this because it's getting more dehydrated, more dehydrated, more dehydrated. So this is where infection can start to develop into the stomach lining. Ulcers, H. pylori, issues with the stomach lining, because you're dehydrated and you're not giving your body the right conditions and your hydrochloric acid is very weak. So you need to reverse that, right? You need to start looking into ways to how can I get my beautiful stomach lining nice and plump and lush and ready to protect my body. So that's what I would do. We all have disease. We all have virus. We all have germs. We all have bacteria. We all have cancer capability in the body. But if you have a well-working body that is like the immune system is working fantastic, right? Which is a natural source. You don't have to go searching for immune system. Actually, you have it within you. If you give yourself the right conditions, you have nothing to be afraid of. This is why we can eat something. Maybe someone gets food poisoning, but we don't, because we have very strong hydrochloric acid to take out that yuck, that got in there. So make sure you're drinking lots of water. Make sure you're not drinking with your meals. Ways you can build up your hydrochloric acid is by taking cayenne pepper with a meal. You can also try colon tea. Barbara has a fantastic recipe for colon tea. We make it and we actually have it available on our website, or you can make it yourself. I'm all about making it myself, as you can tell. So, explore that. Digest tea. There is colon tea too, but it's the digest tea. The digest tea is really good to help you stimulate hydrochloric acid and to help you digest your meals. And also, anyone who's anemic, it's really great for building iron and helping your body absorb the iron out of your food. So that's a little bit on H. pylori. I would just recommend drinking water, eating well, taking a good probiotic 45 minutes before breakfast. Manuka honey is a fantastic source, very helpful, very healing. So yes, definitely Manuka honey is wonderful in the process of trying to heal. Laura says, what do you think, or does Barbara have to say about seizures? You may or may not be tied to POTS or long haul COVID, and an EEG was negative for epilepsy. I'm speaking of the blank stares, head drop, unable to communicate, yet fully aware of what's going on, seemingly passing out and feeling exhausted later. Bless your heart. Can anything help? Are there any recommendations besides starting slowly for someone who doesn't tolerate exercise well? Not just out of breath or doesn't like it, but physically the body tries shutting down upon exertion. Okay, so there's a good book by Dr. Bruce Fife called Stop Alzheimer's Now, and he talks about a lot of neurological disorders. So I would definitely suggest getting that book and start studying and start learning and see where that takes you. There's a movie called First Do No Harm. That's what me and Barbara watch on our movie nights when we're like in hotels. We'll watch that movie. We'll pull it up. Meryl Streep's in it and some other actors and actresses. I don't remember their names, but and it's the story of her son. It's based on a true story, but the characters, it's based on the woman and her son having seizures. And long story short, and I don't like to, spoil the movie for you. So, but long story short, coconut oil is fantastic for the brain. And that's been shown it's a good fat for the brain and it's been shown to be helpful in the ketogenic diet. So also they talk about the ketogenic diet in the end of that movie, and they have the original nutritionist that helped the original boy in the movie on the end of the movie. You can find it on YouTube. You just have to search for the complete movie. First, do no harm. Really good. Oh, you guys. So it really shows what we're still dealing with to this day in the medical facility, in medical institutes, and the control that they have over us, and um, the lack of concern or care when it comes to prescribing medicine that could potentially kill us. So it's very good. Look into it. But yes, coconut oil, ketogenic diet, plant-based. You can also do healthy, clean meats. Uh, Obviously, I still, I'm a proponent of like lots of vegetables and fruits as well. So I know some ketogenics, you can't eat fruit. So, lots of fat, fiber, protein. And, you know, I would make sure you go through your home and pray over your home. Make sure things in your home aren't evil. And I'm saying this from a place of truth. Like things have happened to me before where things have come into my home that I didn't know necessarily were there, or I didn't know the full evil that was, for example, in a book that was in my home. And it was causing major disturbances in my health and in my home. So please pray on that. Ask God if there's anything that He needs to show you that may be causing you this paralysis. I know there's people who have sleep paralysis, and it could be spiritual. There could be a spiritual link. So make sure you pray on that, and God can show you. And as soon as you can get those things out of your home, make your home more godly. You could see some healing in that way, but there's a lot to that. So I'm not quite sure your health, your history. Do you have a metal in your body? But exercising, you said, you don't tolerate exercise well. So rebounding sitting is very helpful. You could just sit on a rebounder and you could bounce a little bit, okay? That's really helpful to bounce on a rebounder, especially if you don't feel like doing much. Going on gentle walks, go with someone. So if you have any flare-ups, that they can help you and they're aware of your situation. Alex says, I think I've heard you all talk about this at some point, not sure. Anything we can do to help with skin elasticity while losing weight? Well, yes. What is the skin made of? The skin is made of protein, the skin is made of minerals, the skin is made of water and hydration. So make sure you're getting all those good things, lots of fat, lots of fiber, lots of protein. Your skin, your hair, your nails get all the extra, all the leftovers. So if you're eating a plethora, an abundant amount of these things, then your body is going to naturally thrive. It's going to have so much to give for the hair, so much to give for the skin, so much to offer to the nails. But our skin is an organ of elimination. So if you're actually doing the opposite, eating a lot of garbage, a lot of toxic waste, then your skin's actually a means to let out garbage. And so you're going to find that you're going to get skin problems, eczema, rashes, open wounds, sores, because the body's trying to get these things out. So take care of your body, eat lots of those things that I suggested. Make sure you exercise, get your human growth hormone up there, get it going. Exercise daily, every day. Go on a walk on your day offs, on your Sabbaths. Go on a nice, lovely walk. Go on a walk on your Sunday with your family. Go on a bike ride. Do something very easy. There's things you can do topically. You could try different oils. You can try shea butter. You can try coconut oil. You can try olive oil. You can try almond oil. You can try jojoba oil. I mean, there's so many wonderful oils you could try on your skin to help improve the elasticity. And exercising, toning from the inside out is very, very helpful for skin as we age. And yeah, the skin is very adaptable. It's you start working out and you start doing those things, the skin will start to heal. Get a little bit of sunshine every day. Sun is so good for the skin. Not too much, just enough. 12 to 15 minutes a day, back to front. Especially this time of year is a great time. Early morning, late evening. Don't go in the middle of the day and fry yourself. Let's see. Okay. Andrea says, thoughts on a colonoscopy. My husband is 45 and they're recommending he get his first due to his age. So interesting. They're recommending it for him to get it due to his age. It has nothing to do with his health. We recommend getting it because someone on a piece of paper said that at this age you should have it. I was sure you had talked in the past about it, but I can't find it now. It's relevant to me, and I know I should noted it. Can you discuss the risk, why it's, okay. I will never get a colonoscopy. I have never gone to colonoscopy. Barbara O'Neill will never get a colonoscopy. She's never gotten a colonoscopy. You can make your choice for yourself. I can't tell you what to do, obviously, but I can tell you what is the mixture they give you to drink before a colonoscopy. It's made out of PEG, right? And this stuff is toxic. Toxic. It's a carcinogen, and they make you drink this to see if you have cancer in your colon. Now, some physicians suggest you get a colonoscopy once a year. Now, let's do the math. Completely healthy person going in because their age said so, and they're drinking a carcinogenic drink once a year. What do you think is going to happen in, let's say, 10, 20 years' time? Okay, this defies common sense. It's ridiculous. They shouldn't be giving you those things to drink, and they shouldn't be telling you to get a colonoscopy just because your age. What if you're healthy? What if you feel great? What if you don't need to do that? What if you do that and then you also start to cause problems in the colon? So personally, I don't recommend them. I would never have one. But that's up to you. The drink is toxic, just so you know. PEG, look it up, PEG. It's toxic. Lacey says, my sister is 31 and the doctor said she has aggressive, and back to that. Eat well. Take care of your colon. What does your colon need? Your colon needs fiber. Your colon needs fat. Your colon needs protein. Your colon needs movement. Make sure you're going to the bathroom 1 to 3 times a day, ideally 3 times a day. Dr. Kellogg says every intake should equal an exit of food. So make sure you take care of your colon so you don't ever have to do that. Okay, good. Now, Andrea says, Lacey says, my sister is 31 and the doctor said she has aggressive rheumatoid arthritis. She has swelling in her fingers and the third toe joint on each foot. She has tried to eliminate the nightshade foods and that has helped some. We were wanting to know if she needs to do a parasite cleanse. If so, which would you suggest? Thank you. The first thing I would do is get the 5 food allergens out of the body. Also, the mineral leachers, the things that you take in that take your minerals, blah, blah, blah. So make sure you remove the mineral leachers from your body. That would be refined sugar. Refined sugar loves to take your minerals, and so does caffeine. Don't be mad at me. I used to drink a lot of caffeine. Hey, driver. Want to say hi to everybody? Come say hi. Come say hi. Did you forget I was doing my live? This is driver. Say hello. Love you. I'll be on in a little bit. So remove the 5 food allergens. That is the first thing you need to do. And then watch out for the mineral leachers. Caffeine is a huge mineral leacher. I'm sorry, but it goes after your magnesium and your calcium, right? Those are 2 of the many minerals that build your bones primarily. So ask her what she's eating and be honest with her, like, hey, is it worth the pain, right? I don't think that anything's worth pain for me. I'm willing to let go of anything that's causing me hurt or pain or taking years off my life or, getting in the way of my anointing, what I'm supposed to be doing for God. Saying we should all be thinking that way. We should all be thinking, is this trumping and is this stopping my momentum, my choice to eat this or to drink this when you know what it does to your body? And I'm not talking about the moderation, guys. I'm not talking about the 10%. I'm not talking about the odd day you do it. I'm talking about what you do consistently that matters. So 5 food allergens. I would start on the wild yam cream. Wild yam cream. We have a whipped wild yam cream. We have the largest selection. Actually, I've done a lot of looking. We have the largest selection of wild yam cream that is specifically targeted to certain people for certain reasons. And why is that? Because we've listened to every single person who's come in talking about their hormonal imbalances, men, women, children. So it's just been, God is so good to give us these varieties to help people individually where they need to be. So I would get her on a wild yam cream, and depending on her symptoms, and we list those symptoms in the description for the wild yam creams, the whipped wild yam creams. We also have oils, and so it depends on what you want to use, and we also have salves. We're working on getting that organized better for you guys to make it quicker, user-friendly to understand what these products do and how they're designed for each individual. So give us a little bit of time on that, but we're getting that going for you. So definitely wild yam cream. She could do a parasite cleanse, but I think that would be last. I think she should start taking the 5 food allergens out. Gluten, dairy, refined sugar, oats and peanuts. That's the first thing. The second thing is watch out for the coffee, the caffeine. Is she taking any drugs that actually leach bone out of the body? There are drugs that people are put on that actually cause osteoporosis, that actually cause the jaw to be disintegrated. This is toxic. So be careful. You could do a parasite cleanse if you wanted to, but I would do the other things first. There's great chapters on everything I talk about. There's a fantastic book called Sustain Me by Barbara O'Neill, and you can find that on our shop. We have a shop, okbhealthy.com, and we sell her book legitimately. But she has a great chapter on the bones. I think it's called Better Bones, and you can check that out. Lots of tips, so much more involved in that. So lots and lots and lots and lots of good stuff. Okay, Lisa says, what can help with trying to conceive? Oh, one more thing. Make sure you're eating minerals, Celtic salt or Baja Gold for the bones. The bones aren't just calcium and magnesium. They're just not calcium. They're actually 12 primary minerals and 64 trace minerals. You can find that information in the book, The Calcium Lie by Dr. Robert Thompson. And he goes into depth, and it's really good. So remember to give your body all those minerals daily, and that's through a nice Celtic salt, Baja Gold salt, mineral salt, any kind of beautiful ocean Celtic salt. Look in your area. If you live near the ocean, odds are you might find a really great ocean salt, mineral salt nearby, sea salt nearby you. Okay, Lisa says, what can help with trying to conceive with PCOS? So wild yam cream, I would try our whipped wild yam cream. If it's just to try to conceive, I would recommend our regular. It's made with wild yam cream, chaste berries, olive oil, olive oil, shea butter, and a little bit of aloe. Very simple ingredients, very clean ingredients, safe during pregnancy, safe during that time to try to conceive, and it's safe during nursing. And so you apply that twice a day, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. When you get pregnant, you still do the same, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. When you're nursing, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. And if you start to having a period again, that week off, it would be the week of your period. So if you do not have a period anymore, you still take a week off. So you get to put it on your calendar however you like. Men apply the cream twice a day, no break, because they don't have a cycle. So twice a day, fellas, no break. And that helps with erectile dysfunction, testosterone balance, all hormonal balancing. It's good stuff, helping you sleep, helping you if you have hot flashes. So make sure, I would definitely get on the wild yam cream and change your diet. With the PCOS, change your diet, avoid caffeine, avoid refined sugar, avoid gluten, avoid the 5 food allergens, eat really well, lots of minerals, lots of healthy, clean foods. Sometimes, okay, yes, that's what I would do. Why wild yam for helping you get pregnant? Because it encourages your progesterone hormone to be in the right balance. Progesterone balances estrogen. There's 3 different estrogens, and then also balances testosterone. It's like the mother-son, and progesterone is mama. She has daughter-son. So progesterone's mama, estrogens are the daughter, and then testosterone's the son. And everything's balanced when mom is in charge. Okay, let's see. And also, if anyone's having chronic miscarriages, wild yam cream, whipped wild yam cream is really good for that because it helps that beautiful little baby get nuzzled into the uterine wall and get snug in there, because progesterone is basically the glue that glues that baby in nice and tight, and so that baby isn't lost. Okay, Clara says, hello, Jacqueline. How can I heal my body after Lyme disease? So there's a great book called Healing Lyme by Dr. Harold Brunner, Stephen Harold Brunner, Dr. Stephen Harold Brunner, and it's a fantastic book. I would also look into giving yourself a fever bath. You do fever baths. Fever baths have been shown to help people overcome Lyme's disease. Diet is 100% necessary for any healing to take place in the body. You've got to start at the very bottom, and it's all in, 100% in. There's no odd day when you are battling something very serious. You need to be all in and serious about your diet and your lifestyle, everything. Cold plunges are fantastic. Cold plunges are fantastic for that. And yeah, just an optimal lifestyle and optimal diet. But look into that book. There's a lot of great information there. Michelle says, I ordered the parasite cleanse and the heavy metal detox. How do I do it? What else do I need to do? Or do I just take it? Yeah, it should have came with an instruction card. If not, let us know so we can send you that. But you want to take the parasite cleanse and the heavy metal together. You can do that. And an hour later, you can take your binder. And then you're going to do that twice a day. So then you're going to also do that in the evening time. You can either take your heavy metal and your parasite cleanse an hour before your binder before bed, or you can do your binder and then your parasite cleanse and your heavy metal an hour later before bed. Okay, so twice a day, and you can do that for anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 months. Now there's a lot, or 1 month, and you can do that every 3 months. You can do it every 6 months. You could do it once a year. I take it every day. I take it once a day as like upkeep because we have lots of animals in the house. We have farm animals outside. We have outdoor dogs. If there's a turtle that's going to get run over on the road, I will stop my car and I will move the turtle. Be very careful, everyone. We live out in the country, so I do that. So for those animal lovers out there, some people are not animal lovers like that, and they run them over. That is not me. I'm a definitely stop, slow down, be careful of the animal. I mean, come on. God made Adam in charge of the animals and he named them all. I mean, there's got to be some kind of beautiful relationship between animals and people. Okay. Freda says, help with COPD, please. Yes. So I would ask for history if Frida's watching and if you don't mind sharing your history. But we would need to know a little bit about history. For example, were you a smoker? Did you have family members that smoked a lot around you? I had problems as a child with asthma because my biological father would smoke in the car and have all the windows up, and I would be breathing in these toxic fumes as a child, and I would go home with horrible asthma. Um, and unfortunately, saying they would smoke in the house, they would smoke in the tent, they would smoke right near you, and it was horrible. And that experience taught me I will never smoke, never. I just was so sick all the time as a kid, going there, and I reeked of smoke. It wasn't a blessing. So one of the things I always ask is, were you a smoker? Were you around someone who was smoking? Did your spouse smoke? Did your grandpa smoke? What was it? And then you can kind of go from there more. Um, for those who don't know, it means chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It's just really hard to breathe and to take in air and oxygen. And we know we need to be breathing and providing oxygen to the body. So the best thing I would do is start taking plantain. Start taking mullein. Those are fantastic herbs for the chest. There's also a huge list of herbs for the respiratory system right here in this book, Sustain Me, by Barbara O'Neill. And she goes into depth about a lot of these herbs. She doesn't talk about mullein because mullein isn't native to Australia. It's native to America. And I love mullein, so I talk so much about mullein. Mullein made me a believer. It's good stuff. It is just really great for lungs. I give it to my twins because they were premature at birth. They were 32 weeks. So mullein has been an herb to really help them as they've aged into adults. We have completely conquered any lung problems from when they were when they were babies in the NICU. And so good stuff. So mullein, plantain, and these grow wild all over if you are United States side. And actually, I've seen mullein almost everywhere I've gone so far. I've seen it in, where was I? I've seen plantain a lot of places too. Plantain we saw in Germany like crazy. Plantain, it's also called ribwort because it has these like ribs that go through it, these long lines. It looks like ribwort. It's good stuff. Okay, I don't see Frida on, so, but that's what I would do. I'd start taking mullein or plantain, and Joel has a respiratory relief salve, and it's made with those herbs, and you can actually rub it on the chest, and it's very helpful, and it smells amazing. You can also take a tincture. We make mullein tinctures. Jonas is getting ready to make a tincture, a respiratory relief tincture with plantain, mullein, and more herbs that like peppermint, more herbs, heavy-duty herbs for things like COPD. Bona fide re. Comfrey, why do every herbal stores tell me not to consume? Well, every herbal store and every person will tell you not to consume because it's against the law to. The FDA has banned that. You are not allowed to tell someone to ingest comfrey. You're also not allowed to sell things that suggest to internally take comfrey. Red flag, anyone? Anyone think that's a little strange? But the most two people I read from said it's okay to consume. Can I get help on that, please? So I take it internally. I can't tell you to take it internally. But guess what? I can do what I want to do because I have free will. And you also have free will. You don't have to listen to these people that write things and say, don't do this because of that. Now, it's the FDA that's saying that. When's the last time the FDA has ever cared about our health when you truly look at what they promote? Go and look at all the things they promote. Look at how many deaths are linked to what they've promoted. And then ask yourself, I wonder why they don't want me to take something because they're protecting me. So look into it. I love comfrey. I have it in oil form in the store. We have it in a salve form in the store. We sell loose leaf. Comfrey grows wild everywhere. Odds are it's in your backyard. It should be in everyone's survival garden. Mullein, plantain, comfrey, red clover. These are some of the things that should be in your survival garden. And there's so many stories about it. There's a story Barbara talks about the man who went and got an old dairy cow that was in the slaughterhouse, and he just fed her comfrey and comfrey and comfrey. He's like, well, if she dies, she's already on her last way anyway. So he just fed her comfrey, and this cow came back to life, y'all, and it started to lactate again. This cow started to produce milk again, thriving and doing wonderful. There's stories of animals that are hurt, and the farmer just lets it out into the fields to find the herb to eat, to heal itself. Animals do this. And one of those is comfrey they always go to. So, common sense, I would just decide what is best for you, what you want to believe. In Russia, they drink comfrey tea all the time. Comfrey is just fantastic for so many health purposes. So I'm a believer in comfrey. I love it. I grow it. I have it. So you just have to decide what you want to do with it. Okay, Amen says, I have a number of fatty tumors, lymphomas. What can I do about that? I would suggest doing a heavy metal detox. I would also suggest doing castor oil poultices over that area all the time. Get a little patch, put it on there, and just keep that castor oil on. Let's see, because castor oil breaks up lumps, bumps, bone spurs, fatty tumors, lymphomas. It will shrink those things. It's very intelligent oil because God made it that way. It's not because it is powerful. It is because God infused it with the things he knew we would need to help us where we're at. Also, red clover is nicknamed tumor scalpel. So red clover is something wonderful to take. You can take red clover as a tincture. You can take red clover as a tea. You could eat red clover fresh out in a garden. So there's so many ways to look into red clover. Red clover, I've heard someone was talking and they said red clover is like the multivitamin of the herbs. I thought that is beautiful. So everyone should have red clover in their gardens. That should be part of your survival garden. That's what I would do. Okay. Dolores says, hi, Jacqueline. What do you suggest to take if you are traveling, especially with all the radiation at airport and planes? Also, all the cell towers we are surrounded by. God bless. So guess what? There's nothing we can do. We've actually become a society where you really can't get away from it. I mean, there's even satellites now in outer space. I mean, they've probably been there a lot longer than we've been told they have been there. So do the best you can, leave the rest to God. I have to have a cell phone. I thought about once, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of all social media. But then I wouldn't be able to do this. And I thought, God knew this would be the way of our communication. And so I just know that I'd give my body the best ingredients possible. I eat well. I eat a lot of dark leafy greens. When I'm traveling once a week, going through the airports with Barbara every week, you can opt out to get out of the huge scanners. But let me tell you, it's like they know you're doing that and they want you to just wait even longer. Hold on one second. There we go, reconnected. It's almost like the security just wants to be a little bit, well, then you can wait longer. So I did that one time and I had to wait such a long time. The only reason I did it is because I wanted to see, one, if they would let me opt out. Two, I wanted to see how long it would take. A long time. At 3, I could do it because I had a long time to wait at the airport. So I thought, let's just do it for an experiment. And that's what I like to do. I like to just try things to see what happens. So, I was like, okay, opting out, I don't have time for that. That just takes too long. But if you get, the what do you call that? The quicker pass? I have a quicker pass. I forget what it's called. And you can just get through, you don't have to go through the big machines. You can go through the metal detector. So I do have one step below the big radiation one. I can just go through the metal detector. But you're still right next to it. People are going through it, and you're going. I mean, it's silly. We have our phones on us, and I'm carrying my phone, and you're around radiation towers, and So there's a good book by Dr. Bruce Fife. It's called Hazards of Hazards Hazards of Electromagnetic Frequencies. I think something like that. Just look up Dr. Bruce Fife. We have it on our store in the book nook. And he talks, I wish he had more information, but there is some good information in there you can take. But yes, what do I take? I always take charcoal before and after. I always eat a nice dark leafy green smoothie before and after if I can throughout that week. But I do it weekly because I'm always weekly in the airport. I make sure to eat my Brazil nuts. I make sure to take chlorella and cilantro. These are chelators, so they help rid the body of heavy metals and any kind of pollutants. So these are just things I'm mindful of, but I don't fear it. I do not fear it, right? Job said, the things that I have feared upon have come upon me. You know what I mean? And so we don't want to fear anything. We want to just do the best we can, leave the rest to God. We do the possible, and when we can't do any more is when God does the impossible. So yeah, don't sleep with the cell phone right by your head. Doing the possible is putting it outside your bedroom on airplane mode, maybe turning off your Wi-Fi at night, right? And then we just say, you know what, it's in your hands, Father, because I know you need me to travel once a week in the airport. I know you need me to do that. So I know I don't need to fear it because I know I'm going where you need me to go. So go where God needs you to go. Do what God needs you to do. Do the best you can while doing those things, and don't fear it. Don't fear it. Give it to God. Dolores says, "Hi Jacqueline, what do you suggest to take if you're traveling?" Oh, I did that. Alice says, what all is black salve used for? Are there any precautions in using it that I should be aware of? Yes, I brought my little if I don't break anything. I brought my little goodie basket. My show and tell shopping basket is here. Dun, dun, dun. But yes, we now have tablets and we have salve. Black salve, bloodroot salve. It has a few different names. And it is I have to be careful how I say this because, it's a very controversial herb amongst those who are against it. And so it's very, very beneficial. It's something you use, for example, I had a friend who had a spot on her breast. She put that there rather than doing chemotherapy. And the spot got, what happens is the herb, you only apply it one time. You have to follow to the instructions. You apply it one time. If it is the C word, what will happen is that spot will get a little bit inflamed, and then it will get a little, all the white blood cells will rush there. So people call it pus. Oh, it's infected. I have pus. No, no, no. It's your white blood cells rushing to the area because your white blood cells help you fight. And so they run there. And so it looks a little infected. It looks a little, but it's actually the opposite. It's not infected. It's actually fighting that area. And then what happens is it kind of scabs over, and then the scab will fall out, and it'll take out that C word or that fatty globule or what do you call it? That foreign object. It will fall out, and so it could leave a little scar. So that's some things that you need to be aware of. Do you want to do it on your face, right? If you might have a little scar. Personally, I would rather have a little scar than taking something that could potentially kill all my good cells along with killing bad cells. So that's something, and there's also, they make a pill form. We have a pill form and we have a salve form. And so that's a little bit about black salve. I recommend researching it, especially healing testimonies using bloodroot salve or healing testimonies using black root salve. And you might find some good stuff. I have so many wonderful stories of people using this stuff. And it's been very helpful for them, like a spot on the leg or spot on the, when you're using the salve, the breast or the hand. So great stuff. Kim says, I've listened to Barbara about neuropathy in the feet. I've not been diagnosed with this. However, I have some numbness in the right foot between toes, and I don't think about it until I wear thong sandals. Yep, so that's your body whispering to you, something's not right here. We need to change this. So what is it that's not right that you need to change? Could be your diet, pay attention to what you ate before. Were you drinking alcohol? Did you have refined sugar? Are you drinking too much caffeine? Are you dehydrated? Are you not exercising? So go through the things. We all know what those things are. And she says, should I start with castor oil and cayenne pepper on the bottom of my feet? So yes, I would start with doing all the right things, changing all the conditions, lifestyle, health, exercise, sustaining principles. Let's see, maybe don't wear the thong sandals for a little bit. Maybe just wear the sandals that go across the toes. And then, yes, you can start doing a neuropathy poultice. You can. Cayenne pepper compress. You can do that on the bottom of the feet. And for those of you that don't know, you just take an organic cloth or a kitchen paper, which is a paper towel. You dab on olive oil or castor oil, and you sprinkle on cayenne pepper. You put that on the bottom of the foot. Then you wrap the foot in, you put a little plastic wrap underneath the foot, and then you can put a tight sock on. You can also wrap a bandage on, however you feel fits your comfort zone, and you wear that for about 4 hours or until you feel the blood coming back to the feet. You can also take a shot of cayenne pepper every day. You can take cayenne pepper capsules, 1 to 3 capsules, 1 to 3 times a day with a little bit of water before each meal, or 1/4 to 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper and 2 to 3 ounces of water 1 to 3 times a day before a meal, preferably in warm water if you're going to eat a meal, because it helps. It helps be the same temperature as your body. Okay. I think I skipped a page, y'all. I did. I'm so sorry. Penny says, what can I do instead of squats for good leg workouts? Did I talk about that one? I don't think I did. Okay, so Penny says, what can I do for squats for good instead of squats for good leg workouts? Squats hurt her knees. Yeah, so listen to your body. Don't do that. Do something else. You could try rebounding while you sit. You could try, walking gently. You could try bridges. You know what a bridge is? Look up a bridge. Bridges are great for the legs. You could try water aerobics. You could try swimming. Definitely wild yam cream to help with your bones. Definitely look into supporting your joints and your bones and your ligaments. You could wrap the knees in ginger if you feel like there's inflammation there. You can take turmeric, you can take ginger, you can take garlic, you can take cayenne pepper. Yeah, and you can wrap castor oil. You could do a castor oil poultice, and you can use comfrey salve. Those are some things you can try. Gloria says, I see floaters and flashes of light in my eyes. She doesn't have retina detachment. Do you know any natural treatments that can help eyes? Another lady, Debbie Jones, how can I heal my eyes from light sensitivity? So 1, I'd ask, have you been on an antibiotic lately? 2, do you have any breast implants? 3, so there's some history there, asking some questions. Have you had any major surgeries? Are you on any medications? Those are some things to first look at, delve in deep and look into any kind of reactions or occurrences that can happen after taking medications to see if there's a link there. Are you getting enough minerals? Are you staying hydrated? The eyes need water. The eyes need minerals. Vitamin A is fantastic for the eyes. Drinking fresh juices is great for the eyes. Eye Bright is a fantastic herb. I love to use the word fantastic and beautiful and brilliant. Wow. Eye Bright is a great herb as well. What else do I love for the eyes? Euphrasia, that's what the Eye Bright is. Yeah, probiotic 45 minutes before breakfast. Be mindful of the light that you're watching when, before bed and, early morning. I always start the early morning not looking at my phone, but looking at my Bible with a nice gentle light on. I thought about for fun doing candlelight, like going back in the day, like how did they do this? And just using, the natural, going outside and using the natural light in the mornings, slowly wake yourself up. And then before bed, try to avoid bright light before bed too. If you're looking at screens all day long, be mindful. They make great glasses to help you block those lights. So definitely use castor oil over the eye for floaters. You just rub a little castor oil. Always rub from the outer edge to the inner edge. You don't want to spread bacteria across the eye. Because this is your eye's filtration system right here, right? You get that stuff in your eye. So wipe towards the filtration system in your eye. God is brilliant how he designed everything. You could do that at night before bed. I definitely wouldn't do it before you drive a car. You can even, during the day, you could rub it on your eyelids, and it will give you a nice little glow of castor oil mascara or castor oil eyeshadow. What eyeshadow is that? It's castor oil It's castor oil eyeshadow. You'll start a trend. Okay. Angel says, is it still beneficial to oil pull if you don't do it first thing in the morning? Yes, it is. You can oil pull anytime. Doesn't have to be just in the morning. Coconut oil pulling, for those who don't know, you take a teaspoon of coconut oil, you put it in your mouth, you swish, 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 swish for 5 to 15 minutes, as long as you can stand it, and then you go spit it out in the trash or in the yard, but never down your drains. But it's great for helping pull toxins from the gums, from under the tongue, from the chest. For anyone who has chest problems, you can pneumonia, bronchitis, COPD, anything like that, you can coconut oil pull every day. It helps pull toxins out, mucus, and it helps pull from the sinus cavities as well. Great stuff. Helps purify the blood. It's antimicrobial, antibacterial when it comes in contact with bacteria and negative microbes and things. So it kicks into gear. It's good stuff. Penny says, my naturopath wants me to use bioidentical estrogen cream and progesterone cream for menopause and hormonal balance. I'm not sure about it. Yeah, that tells you everything right there. When you guys are not sure about something, that's your Holy Spirit talking to you. You know, I was like, the things that God has told me to do that I know without a shadow of doubt are right, he's like, go for it. I don't have a doubt of, I'm not sure. But when you have that doubt of I'm not sure and it lingers a while, it's definitely something you need to really prayerfully consider. But I wouldn't recommend bioidentical hormones. Bioidentical hormones make your body lazy. Your body doesn't want to do it on itself, because by itself, if you're doing it for it, then why should it worry about it? So I wouldn't personally use them. I want my body to work as God intended by itself. I'm a proponent of work. I have 4 boys. They worked at very young ages. They learned how to do their laundry at 2 and 3. They were in the kitchen as quick as they could be. They were tying their shoes as quick as they possibly could by themselves. I'm a believer of making your kids very independent and hard workers. And the potential, you want people to use their potential. You want your body to use its potential. So definitely get the body working on its own. So I would definitely use wild yam cream. She says the wild yam cream doesn't seem to help much. So there's a lot of questions there. Which one are you using? How long have you been on it? A lot of times people will use it for a week and they're like, this doesn't work. I've heard people say, how long do I have to do this? I'm like, how long did it take you to get to where you are? 50 years, 40 years, 30 years? Give it some time. Be patient. Yeah. So yes, depends on those things. Okay, but I would definitely recommend our whipped wild yam creams or our oils. Wild yam cream is phenomenal for balancing hormones. God made it such. D. Leland Parnell. Have you heard that we have nicotine in our foods like eggplant, tomatoes, and potatoes, and nicotine has been shown to kill parasites as well as CO blank 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 D? I was wondering what you think about chewing pure tobacco or using patches to fight infection in the body. No. Most patches have chemicals, so you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. It is carcinogenic in a chemical form. We know that there's warning labels on everything. I don't know that there's such thing as organic, pure chewing tobacco, but it still has an addiction draw to it. So I would personally stay away from it, and I would use something else that could help fight infection, because there's so many things that don't cause you to be addicted that are more natural, in my opinion, and a better choice. That would be vitamin C, zinc, quercetin, black seed oil, moringa, drinking water. So go through the diet, go through all those things, find out why the infection is there in the first place, and start to look into that first and foremost. But yes, there is natural occurring nicotine, just like there's natural occurring heavy metals in foods and things. But moderation when you're eating those vegetables and fruits. And I feel like um, the proportions are far less when you eat it they actually are. It's in a less concentrated form when you find it in a vegetable or a nightshade. Sarah says, my son was diagnosed with a large pituitary tumor. I'm wanting to apply a castor oil pack, but not sure where to put it to make sure it reaches the tumor. Yeah, it's difficult. It's like right through here. So what I would honestly do is change the diet, change the lifestyle, change, any chemicals in the house, like completely revamp um, the home. Not to be fearful, but to just be wise when it comes to making better choices for the health. And it's also known as the master gland because it really controls a lot of things in the body. So I would start using red clover. Red clover is a tumor scalpel and shrinks tumors, so to speak, helps pull tumors out of the body. So I would take red clover, definitely. You could take a little bit of castor oil and just rub it in the ear, maybe, see what happens. Couldn't hurt. That'd probably be the closest you can get to the spot. So maybe just rub a little bit of castor oil in the ears with your pinky. Get as far back as possible, but be careful. And just get as much as you can in there. Just rub a little castor oil, not dropping it in the ears, but just rub it. That's what I would do. And I would take red clover, either in a tea form, a herb form, a tincture form. Yeah. Alkaline diet, right? Healthy environment, things like that. Megan says, what products do you recommend for personal hygiene? Shampoo, conditioner, face wash, body wash, face lotion, sunscreen, toothpaste. Okay, I love Yellowbird. Yellowbird's one of my favorites when it comes to shampoos, shampoo bars, I should say. Shampoo bars, deodorants, shampoo bars, no, just regular body bars. There we go. They're my favorites. I love to carry this with me because it takes no space in my luggage. So that's what I use for my deodorants, for my shampoo. The more good fat, fiber, and protein you eat, your hair is naturally doesn't tangle, and your hair naturally shines and has a natural conditioning to it. So make sure you really eat well. Avoid things that cause your hair to be, dry and breaky and tangly, and that is refined sugar and caffeine and alcohol. So, moderation, guys. If you want to have a nice organic glass of something with your spouse, then by all means. But just really be aware of what you're doing on the daily. What's the 90% of your life looking like? I also use, yeah, and you know how I know? People are like, oh, you don't know that. I know because when I eat garbage, my hair looks like garbage. When I eat well, my hair looks great because your hair gets all the leftovers. So are you giving your hair leftover garbage or are you giving your hair leftover minerals? Yeah, big difference. Okay, my nose is itching. Okay. I use Glow Cream, our Glow Beauty Cream. I use our Glow Beauty Cream. Did I bring one? I did not bring one, but I use our Glow Beauty Cream. I actually made it for my face because I just wanted certain things on my face to help my face glow, and it works, and I love it. And it's called the Glow Beauty Cream. It's made with shea butter, sea buckthorn berry, lots of good stuff. Aloe, what else? Lots of good things. Okay, now face wash, I use a salt bar. I use salt. I love salt stones. I use salt on my face all the time. The Lord showed me that when I was about 12 years old at the ocean. I had really bad acne. My skin started to clear up when I was in the ocean every day, 3 times a day, and I realized, it's a salt. So since then I use a salt stone, pink Himalayan salt stone. You can use pink salt as a little scrub. You can use, mineral sea salts, mineral salts. Don't scrub hard. You don't want to burn your face or hurt your face or scratch your face. Wax Head, WAXHEAD. Wax Head is actually a very clean sunscreen. It's made with very clean ingredients. It has cocoa powder, and you smell really good when you put this stuff on. Now, I don't use sunscreen personally. I go under the shade, but when we were in Florida and my kids wanted to be out in the ocean, like 10 hours a day, I did put a little bit on their noses and the back of their neck because that's where they tend to burn. And then they just wore long sleeve cotton shirts I got from Thailand and their big grass hats, and they had a great old time. But I did cover the areas that I knew were going to get burnt, and that's usually their nose and the back of their neck. So that's called wax head. Check it out. Dr. Bronner, I like Dr. Bronner's for toothpaste, but there's all kinds of good toothpaste out there. So see what you have locally. There's a lot of powders. I'm not a huge fan of the powder. I don't know, but you can use a powder. There's all kinds of little things you could try. Okay. Tammy says, I've been told that I have high creatine levels. Is this something I should be concerned about? I mean, how do you feel? Do you feel bad? Personally, I don't do tests. I don't go to the doctor unless like my arm is backwards and going and I'm missing a finger or something crazy, which has not happened. Knock on wood, praise God. I hope that never does. But yes, I would definitely go to the doctor in those cases, and I'd be very thankful in those cases for medicine and for surgery and for all kinds of all those kinds of things. But you know, is it hurting you? Do you feel anything because of that? Really, that's just, it's the creatine is kind of high creatine is linked to kidneys. So you could just say, I think I'm going to take on some kidney herbs and take care of my kidneys more.